Welcome, my name is George Sobena, and this is an astrology update for the 1st of January 2024. So, this is the date where Mercury actually stations and goes direct, and this ends a cycle of introspection and going inwards, because you're basically forced to go inwards when externally your plans aren't working. Whatever you do, wherever you go, whatever you plan to do, however you want to go there, whatever you want to communicate, whatever resolution you're looking for, whatever problem you're trying to solve, during the retrograde, doing this externally with other people, in your job, in your health, in your career, not working. None of it is supposed to be working, because the retrograde is supposed to turn you inwards. So you look at how you can take charge instead of letting external circumstances control you by manipulating those circumstances, manipulating other people, or by trying to plan in a way that makes you feel more secure. So that's why people get frustrated, because especially with a recent Mars conjunction Mercury conjunction, you don't want your plans to break apart, because all of this in this realm is ruled by Saturn, is supposed to be structured, organized, and neat, right? So when that doesn't work, what do? So when you have to question your expectations, you have to manage exactly how you gain success in the external world, because now we have had so many transits going on recently where people really had to look at their triggers and deal with them internally. You see, normally when people get triggered, you react to an external situation and you try to fix that situation. But what happens if you can't do anything about that situation? What happens if power is taken from you and you just have to deal with the shit? You just have to sit in the shit and have to figure out, well, where's the shit coming from? Is the external really responsible for my misery, right? Always other people, other circumstances, the world, the retrograde, right? Everyone is responsible for my problems except me, right? Because I'm just a small me, I can't do anything. I'm just like, we have to really look at these belief systems in the sign of Sagittarius, which is where Mercury is in its worst position, right? During this retrograde, we look at the belief systems that aren't working anymore. But we weren't even aware of those belief systems until literally things were falling apart. So it's good for that to happen, and that's why a lot of people get frustrated. I mean, I've predicted it recently that people are going to go crazy with explosives here in Germany, like in Europe, because, you know, unlike in America, where they don't seem to give a shit about the end of the fake year, here you actually do use your fireworks. And people literally children throw the fireworks into bars and restaurants and hast du nicht gesehen, as we say in Germany. So people are becoming terrorists. People are becoming violent, because all this frustration of, why is things not working for me? Why is my manipulation not getting me what I want? Right? Because that is breaking down. So people aren't going to be able to manipulate the circumstances, Saturn and Pisces, to get what they want. And now we are also looking at these transits for some people, like my generation, personally speaking. I'm coming from the 1990 to 1998 generation, which is the generation where Pluto is in Scorpio and in the early degrees of Sagittarius. And in this generation, if you're watching this and you know somebody from there, unless you are there yourself, Venus, since it entered Sagittarius recently, activates those latest degrees where people have their Pluto in those signs. So people are literally going through some kind of dark night of the soul when it comes to their relationships, when it comes to their partners, their loved ones. And because so many people are affected at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if even people who don't have their Pluto in Scorpio or Sagittarius will also be affected by this. You see, this whole year 2023 is the year of the rabbit. And the rabbit is about relationships, harmony in relationships, right? It's this little rabbit and it just wants to multiply as fast as possible, as much as possible. And then you have a whole rabbit circus. You have a whole, you have rabbit holes everywhere, rabbit dung, right? They shit everywhere. Because really, if you are in a relationship, you have to deal with your shit and the person's shit, whoever you're with. And shit can't just stay shit. You have to do something about it. And that's difficult. Relationships are very difficult. And this year, because the year of a rabbit is ruled by Libra, and we've had the South Node in Libra since August, that's not supposed to be working. Because if Aries North Node is looking towards independence and me, and what I want and what I do is working, then cooperation and teamwork is going to show us the shadow. Not the good stuff, but the shadow mostly. So if you have been trying to have a functioning relationship during the South Node and Libra transit until 2025, good luck to you, because most people are not going to have that. Unless their partner is really deep into their own shit and seeing their shit clearly and ready to work with it. If you are with somebody who's like, yeah, whatever, I'm just strolling around and I'm quite happy with shit as it is, it's not going to last for a lot of people. Because the North Node, South Node, this whole axis, you see, this Aries Node until 2025, has the nature of Saturn. Yeah, the nodes, they are about lessons. They're about exposing shit, shadows, exposing the past, letting go of the past. Letting go of what? Libra. Literally. So the rabbit shit, the relationship shit. It's not an ideal time. Yeah. Neither 2023 nor 2024 is not going to be all sunshine and rainbows either. You see, the North Node isn't going anywhere until 2025. So we really just have to work on ourselves. And the more you focus on yourself, the more likely you're going to attract somebody who does exactly the same. Who's not looking, for their partner to do everything right so they are happy, right? For their partner to pick up the pace. They're not waiting for that. They're only trying to see, okay, where am I responsible? Where have I shit to work on so I can get what I want? So if you are in that category, then you don't have to deal with all that drama, so to speak. But karmic drama that the South Node is so known for, as it currently transits until 2025 in Libra. And with a depositor of Libra, Venus, now being in Sagittarius, well, it's not so bad as it was in Scorpio. Yeah, last month has really been like nothing but shadow work, basically. December has been nothing but cleaning up our attachment issues, our issues around money, and the people that we are surrounded by. And if that's not in alignment, then it had to fall apart. Or if you're lucky and the people you're with are ready to work on their shit, then yeah, okay, then maybe it will work also in the future. Because December was really like a trial run for a lot of people. Yeah. So if you had some kind of issues in that month, you see that it's unlikely to get any worse. Very unlikely. You really have that behind you, because now that it's in Sagittarius, we're going through a period of exploration with a more enthusiastic outlook, more optimistic. Like, it's a more freedom-seeking energy. It's not so clingy and like, how do I manipulate my partner to get my needs met? It's not that kind of energy anymore. And a lot of people are realizing that, right? How to take care of your own needs. As long as you don't fall into the shadow of counterdependency. But a lot of people will be feeling a lot better, especially considering the fact that Jupiter has turned direct as well at the New Year's Eve. Again, fake New Year's Eve. But with Jupiter turning direct, we're looking at an increase in our relationships, in our finances, security, stability, comfort. Everything feels a little bit better in the physical realm moving forward. And because Jupiter is the depositor of Venus, this is quite ironically the first transit that I've seen since the beginning of 2023 that's for once positive for relationships and finances. The only other time where it was positive, in my experience, was when Venus was in Libra. But that was just the sign. There was literally nothing else going on there. Except the South Node, of course, fucking things up again. In terms of showing you where things are already fucked up, so you can get out of that. Yeah, just looking at fuck-ups, fixing them, fixing. That's all really that for a lot of people 2023 has been. So 2024, I'm looking at a year where I'm like, okay, so I've fixed all those fuck-ups. So now if I see a fuck-up again, I'm gonna cut that out real quick. Yeah, I'm not even gonna wait and sit around observing, is this really as fucked up as it seems? No. I just cut. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be in that kind of frequency right now, where people just not interested anymore in the old structures that are now breaking down. Which is literally the key phrase for the Sun conjunction Pholus transit in Capricorn, which we've had since the beginning of the last week of December. Now, the Sun Pholus transit is about breaking down the barriers of the old structures which we believed we needed for financial security, material security, wealth, fame, status, our career, everything that your career is built on. If there's something not quite right, as the Sun illuminates through Capricorn, right? It's supposed to illuminate the darkness. That's why this whole season of winter is a period of darkness. The Sun is an illuminator. As it goes through Capricorn, it illuminates the matrix structure, which you believe you need to control everything so you get a favorable outcome in the future. The Sun is illuminating that to show you where it's a structure that has no future, a false structure. And Pholus, in conjunction with that, is a domino effect. So first you see something breaking down and then you're like, I gotta keep going. Now I see a little bit of a control freakery here, a little bit of my shadow, where I'm trying to be a perfectionist, where I'm trying to control everything, and there doesn't seem to be any limit in the shadow of Capricorn to how high our achievements and our goals should be. And this Pholus transit is really showing you to just let things be, let those boundaries break down that you are using on yourself how you are suffocating yourself to get those favorable outcomes through the controller and the inner tyrant, which of course is internalized from this whole system, as the matrix contaminates you, brainwashes you, mind controls you to become a tyrant yourself. Because that's what gets you the reward, right? In Capricorn, that's what everybody knows. So Capricorn is associated with Saturn as a dispositor, being now in Pisces. Pisces revealing the hyperdimensional messages, the hidden messages in your emotions, in your subconscious, in the past that you absorbed, the collective unconscious shit show, the collective garbage, Pisces, is depositing the sun in Capricorn. So of course it's a grim, dark season for people to realize, damn, my subconsciousness has been playing me all this time, doing a 180-degree shit show of doom to try to control my actions, so I feel good about my actions, when actually those actions aren't even my own. There's somebody else trying to tell me what to do. So this, of course, is breaking down and makes people very, very uncomfortable. Because now they're looking, oh shit, those people trying to tell me I'm supposed to do that. And I've been trying to do that all my life, wasting all that energy, and it got me nowhere. Never even worked. It doesn't really work for anybody. So what you gonna do now? Being disoriented, not knowing, oh shit, so what's the plan? I have to make a plan. Nobody can tell me what to do. I have to make the plan myself. I have to take responsibility. I have to figure out what I want to do in the future. It's like a little bit of a gestation period for some people as they go down into the chrysalis, into the little cocoon, and they're like reorienting, what do I do next? So it's a re-evaluation, a reflection. And in the self-reflection, you finally find out, oh shit, I don't have to play myself anymore. But the moment you stop playing yourself, you're no longer in your comfort zone. You're no longer in that safety that you were promised, but never even received. So with all those illusions breaking down, a lot of people can feel very low on energy, low on drive, until something triggers them to get that energy back. And I really feel that it's been this Lilith opposing Saturn transit. I have this Lilith in Virgo. That right now, at the time of this video, of this live, Lilith is conjunction the moon in Virgo. Exactly. And I was just looking at that as I was making this video, and I was like, this is interesting. I wonder if Lilith has a collective message for us to see just how hard that Saturn has been trying to keep her in that box, that safety box. And now the way to break out of that box is to see that if you want to go forward into 2024, fake year, this doesn't even start until April, but if you do want to go forward into 2024, you have to connect to your instincts. You have to connect to your, okay, what is this feeling deep down inside of me that wants me to do something? How can I integrate that? How can I act on that? And of course, as you start acting on that, suddenly, people are blaming you, like, why are you playing along? Why do you have to be so difficult? What's wrong with you? Right? Lilith is all about rejection. So in opposition to Saturn, Lilith now rejects the control system, but the control system rejects you. Wait a second, what's wrong with this camera? Mercury retrograde is supposed to be over. This camera just went down. Anyways, what I was trying to say is that people are not going to like it if you step into your Lilith. They're going to look at you like, what's wrong with you? Why are you not playing along? Why don't you conform? Why don't you do the unhealthy, in Lilith and Virgo, unhealthy shit that we are doing? Why can't you just sacrifice your mental health, Saturn and Pisces, so you can fit in? Now, mental health is a very misunderstood subject. The soul Saturn is still in the earliest degrees of Pisces. This whole aspect about mental health for the next 2 years is about highlighting how the collective programming is making us also physically sick. So every time you conform to the structure that upholds the system, you literally get ill. And a lot of people, since this Lilith opposing Saturn transit, are purging. They're releasing lots of shit, like people are getting sick and stuff like that, and of course everybody's blaming it as usual on the external, which is, we have winter season, it's cold, and so we get sick, is it the flu, this kind of nonsense. Of course, it has nothing to do with that. It's all about this internal split between you and the tyrant inside of you, and you're like this little small little in the darkness, like, I'm rejected by the control system, I have to play along. And this tyrant saying, you have to work, you have to be productive, you have to be a functioning member of society, you have to submit to the control system, to the devil, sell your soul to the devil. And then you sell your soul to the devil, and then you get sick. So Lilith is really highlighting these kinds of issues. So when you get sick, you finally get well. Because if you weren't getting sick, you would just keep doing the same shit. If you weren't getting frustrated, if you weren't getting angry, rage, right? Lilith is known for a rage. Like, guess what? Me as a Lilith conjunction Sun, what kind of rage I've had to do in my life, because I had this inner instinct saying, this is some sick ass shit. You people are robots. You want me to be a robot? So now all this roboticism is being revealed with this Capricorn season, as it should be every year. Oh, seasonal depression. Is this seasonal depression because it's so dark outside? Are you fucking kidding me? What seasonal depression? You're depressed because you're repressed. Because this tyrant inside of you has taken over. Lilith is trying to take the power back. She's angry. She's out for some fucking God knows what she has to do to get you out of that shit show. Like, what are you doing there? Being this, I'm so shameful, I couldn't get anything in my life, I'm like a loser, look at me, a failure. Right? A lot of people are going through that kind of experience because the control system is so all-pervasive. The tyrant inside of us is so demanding, always wanting more and more, work. You know how people say, oh, aren't you saving for your retirement? Or, why don't you work more? Why are you only working 5 days a week? Why don't you work 8 days a week? Except for the fact that the week has only 7 days. They want you to work 8 days a week, literally. That's the kind of sickness you're dealing with. So when you do what you actually want to do, of course, that system is breaking down. So where do you go? You go within. And that's what people are doing. That's why they're contracting. That's why we're like, oh, I don't have energy, I don't want to do anything. You don't want to do anything because you're doing exactly the thing that you're supposed to be doing, which is to reflect and get the subconscious juices with Saturn and Pisces finally getting that materialized in the physical world. So you are in alignment with those hidden forces that you have been suppressing all those years. So now all the mucus is coming out, right? Pisces rules mucus, the lymphatic system. So as the depositor of Saturn, the sun being a burner, right? Like an illuminator burning that Saturn up, making it stronger in Pisces. So making this whole desire to regenerate your mental health very, very strong for people. Because it makes them painfully aware. Yeah? Sun is awareness, the light coming in of all those programs, all those illusions, all the lies you've been telling yourself about what you're supposed to be doing and who you are and your self-worth, of course. Right? Sun is always about self-worth. I'm so lonely if I don't do this. So now when people take the first step towards getting better, everybody's telling them, oh no, you should get back into the box. What are you doing? Little black sheep going in the opposite direction. Why don't you jump down the cliff like the rest of us? What's wrong with you not jumping down the cliff? So then people feel guilty. But with this flawless transit, that's not going to stop most people. Most people are going to keep going. They're not going to care about the guilt. We've had enough of this guilt. I mean, big deal. We're dealing with all these programs. We can see them. We can see them very, very well right now. And that's why people are so miserable. Because if you can see the misery, right? You know how they say ignorance is bliss? Literally. So if you are aware, it's going to be painful. And that's really the biggest lesson of Sun in Capricorn. The biggest lesson of Saturn. That if you want real structure, reality, if you want health, mental health, Sun in Pisces, you need to see just how miserable you are and how miserable the people are around you. So this season of misery is really not so miserable at all, actually. This is the light coming in. So the more depressed you feel, the more angry you feel, is in direct proportion to you getting well, to you getting healthy, to you coming back to the light. You see? And of course, if, there was a very funny thing that happened to me recently. I was in this restaurant with a few friends, and there was this psychotic person, like this really crazy looking person, going to the restaurant, and he was holding his hand in front of the sun. He was trying to block the sun. He was trying to block the light. He was like, no, block the light, block the sun, I don't want it. Because the sun is highlighting his misery, his mental illness in Pisces. And I was looking at it, I was like, damn, this is astrology in action. You can't make this shit up. So maybe you should look for those kind of symbols. Saturn and Pisces is all about the symbolism, the metaphors coming in, the signs showing you where illumination is happening. So this is a very good time to become aware of your mental blocks and your illusions. So it's wonderful, really. I honestly, I've been loving this period. I haven't felt this miserable in a long time. And every time when the night is at its darkest, it's just before dawn. So this is really the best time, because this is just before the breakthrough. Because you can see everything that's going on so clearly. I mean, what could be better than that? So now we're going into this Chiron conjunction North Node transit in February, at the end of January. Oh, the collective toxic masculinity wounds are really going to be highlighted then. Be prepared, because once the transit comes, I'm going to make a video on that too, and I'm going to go very deep into what that is really about. But first I need to observe it. First I need to look around within me and with the people around me, that when the transit happens with Chiron on the North Node, what is really happening? Because you see all this work that I'm doing, all this astrology, all these updates, it's all based on my own process, what I see. I'm not taking this from books. It's my own observations. If your own observations are accurate, reality will confirm them. If your observations are not accurate, if you are under illusions, reality will reject them. It's very simple, actually. You can observe this. And when you learn the lessons, yeah, that's really what Capricorn is about. And when, of course, your career gets stronger, you become an authority on the subject because you're taking your own eyes. You're seeing things for yourself. You're no longer listening to other people. You're no longer listening to those old structures for guidance. You become the guidance. Literally. And that's very difficult. I don't know what is more difficult than that. There's a reason why Capricorn is one of the last signs of the zodiac, in the darkest time of the year. It's not easy to reject the old structures, but also to take some of it, like astrology is a very old thing, it's an ancient thing. So you're still using those tools, but you decide how you want to use them. And then you capitalize. Because as long as you're listening to other people, you're not an authority. As long as you conform and play by the group, you're never going to be the CEO. So I think these are interesting points to just consider in Capricorn, just in general. So that's my update for January 1st, 2024. Now, if you found this video useful, I would really appreciate a like or subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me a lot. And if you're interested in a reading, you can reach out to me anytime. You can message me on Facebook. You can also message me through email, and we can set you up to look at your natal chart and to see at what is it that your soul had planned for you to bring in, so you can embody that, so you can integrate that, so you can become that what you already are, the divine cosmic blueprint, that's just wanted to be actualized, manifest. So that's all what astrology is really about, to manifest you. And when you're manifesting you, you're in alignment with you, you're in alignment with the universe, you are at harmony, you are at peace. And that's the highest of all frequencies. So that's really what astrology is helping me for. And I hope this video also helped you. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.